Okay, so today we are recording a video about for our language assessment and testing class about test assessment principles and all the topic related with the rubric, the creation, topics, etc. This video it's composed by Ariadna Amaya, my partner, and I, Karen Molano. So we're gonna just start with the first topic. In this case, we're gonna start by talking about test and assessment principles. So we have five main principles when you are going to make and along all the process to complete a test or an assessment. The first one is the validity principle. In this one is very important to understand the principal topic that you're gonna evaluate with your test or with the assessment. So basically, is the way in which you can make sure that the topic you are evaluating is really important for the learning process. I'm gonna make an example. So if you are on a class teaching about uh, cooking vocabulary, and then you make a test about directions, that is not gonna make sense for the student, and it's gonna be a very bad for experience for their learning process. So it's important to avoid that. We have two validity subtopics that are content validity and construct validity. The content validity is what I mentioned before, like that the topic is related on what you have teach before, and the construct validity is related with the sub skills of the skill you are grading. So if you are grading speaking, you may be sure that you also take into account the fluency and that they have like a clear concept of what they are talking about. Now continue with reliability. It is more related on the results that you can get on your test and how you can measure and you can understand what is going on with the results. So in this, we need to take into account the students and the teacher reliability. The students have to, it is related with the students' feelings. It can be because of internal or external factors. If they are internal, like uh, the classroom factors, for example, the temperature, you can help the students with that. But there are some times that they have like personal issues, and that is something you may take into account in order to improve that if you are able, or at least help the students like with this emotional support. As well, we have the teacher that is more related with the a student's behavior when you are grading. So if you have any students that always present your the test and always have good grades, when you're gonna grade the final test, you're gonna have like a good um, view of this student, and that can affect the grade. As well, if it is the contrary, like if you have a bad student that doesn't attend to class, etc., you're gonna take that into account at the hour of grade, and well, that should not be in that way. You should be objective, so that is something we need to take into account. As well, this teacher reliability is affected by the mood, by personal issues as well. And the introverted reliability is the one that Ariadna is going to talk later, that is more related with the rubric and how these rubrics can help you to get a more objective results. Now talking about authenticity, this is how the tests are going to help the students on real life situations. So you make you need to make sure that what you are teaching is going to help them for the future and not only for the class. Even if it is important, because we have the task type authenticity that talk about the multiple choice exams that can help in an international exam. It is also important the language authenticity and the context authenticity, because it can be related more if any students want to go overseas and want to know other countries. This is gonna help them to have like a more very good interactions with the new environment, because it has to be related with the context and with the idioms, with the slots they have. And now with the practicality, this is more like for us as teachers. It is related on how you can make your test and your assessments in an efficient way. So, for example, if you're gonna teach about vocabulary, it's gonna be better if you put a multiple choice task because that is gonna help the students to ask to answer, sorry, quickly the question, and as well when you are grading, it's gonna be quicker for you because you already have the answer and you only need to check if they have it or not. Instead, you maybe ask them to write a complete text because you need to make sure about the grammar and about the spelling, so that it's gonna take more time. You need to take into account what is quicker and better for you and for your students. And as well, it is related with the feedback that is also the last topic, that is washback. That is how the test can affect and how your feedback can affect the students' learning and teaching process. Because the test that we are gonna provide can affect positively or negatively students' learning. So it is important that also it is mentioned on the next topic about the rubrics that we cannot have negative connotations with them, because that can provide a bad experience with not only with the topic but with the main subject, like with the language itself, and that can be an issue for the future. So now we have Ariadna. She's gonna explain us about rubric topics. Okay, thank you.
Okay, hello guys. So now we are here at the topic, my topic that it's designing rubrics. So I'm going to provide you like some characteristic that you need to include to design a good rubric. Take into account that this is very important because as Karen mentioned it before, the rubric help us as teachers to evaluate our students in an objective way. So take into account that, well, to design a good rubric, you need to include aspects and criteria to assess students' learning. So can be used summative, formative, peer, self-assessment, etc. So you need to include learning objectives, formulating attributes, criteria, and rating scale. And also, you need to identify the outcome and take into account the characteristics that you have with your, well, in your classroom. Okay, so now we are going to have like the like a rubric should have. So as I mentioned it before, it's the attributes. They are the observable aspects, most attention, and it not be more than five. We have criteria. It's the description of quality each attributes have to accomplish. And finally, we have the rating scale that it assigns different rating to establish a criteria for an attribute. Okay. So now we are going to see the types of rubrics. They are holistic and analytical. Uh, Analytic rubric means to assess a student's learning outcome as a totality, but an analytical allows us teachers and students to make a deeper analysis of the degree of quality and which attributes were achieved. And also we have like the third type of rubric. Oh, well, at first we are going to see um, two examples of the holistic and analytical rubric. So as you can see. And also we have the last one that it's hybrid. So it's like a combination of the holistic and analytical feature. And we have the rating skills that can be graphic. It include words. It's like a formative assessment. And we have numerical, include numbers, and it's a summative assessment. And also we have the descriptive, that it's a combination of both. And
Okay.
well, in
Sorry.
yes, go ahead.
Okay, so as we mentioned before, on the reading skills, it is very important to take into account the words we're gonna use to provide the students feedback and do not make negative connotations to affect their learning process. And with that, we already covered all the topics of this. So thank you so much for your attention and see you soon in the next video. Bye.
Bye.